and gentlemen, it's the very second day of the second half of the year 2025, and here we are again, a beautiful Wednesday afternoon. And what do we have? The stock market is on a flight. A lot is going on and really interesting takes there. So many activities going on with the penny stocks this time. And one of the reasons why we always say diversify your portfolio is so that every time there's something happening in any sector or in any category of stocks, your portfolio continues to benefit from it. And of course, should there be any form of negativity in the market, then it shouldn't suffer a decline completely because your portfolio is indeed divested and spread. So welcome to today's live session. And of course, we have a whole lot to deal with, and hopefully we will get all things ready and going. Very good afternoon to you, everybody. Really appreciate your time and your patience for learning. All of my penny stock investors, penny stock lovers, we are now in your era where stocks of pennies are flying left, right, and center. And how do we know what penny stocks are? In the foreign and local markets, every stock below 10 naira or 10 US dollars is classified as a penny stock. Congratulations to QTix holders, congratulations to NEMET holders, congratulations to UPDC holders, congratulations to CHAMS holders. Now the attention is shifting from all of those other penny stocks that have moved, and it's like attention is now being paid to CHAMS. Hopefully CHAMS goes above 2 naira 50 kobo before this week runs out. Who knows? Every other stock is flying, and indeed it's a day of full bids. Most of your stocks are now in full bid, and it's really looking very interesting. The beautiful thing about penny stocks is that they just keep giving you so much returns after every little move. It is penny stocks that will teach you that every kobo counts in this life, because a 5 kobo move of a penny stock in the volume of 1 million or 10 million shares says a lot of how much money you can make. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go on straight to your questions because we do not have time to waste. A lot is happening in the market and we must keep flying, if you like, because that's what the market has already made us to see. A lot is happening. Are you people celebrating your wins at all? What's your portfolio saying? What stock is making you happier and proud? Let's know what the situation is with you. I have a very long post here or comment. DJ Imiga says, good morning, sir. I'm thinking of buying CHAMS, UPL, Etana, Dang Sugar, FTN Cocoa. I want to ask if they are good stocks to buy and at what enterprise is okay. At this point, the way the market is behaving now, it looks like there is no way you should be waiting for any stock. If you see it, you buy, because FTN Cocoa is unavailable at the moment. UPL, that's University Press. Maybe I should check to see what the situation is with that particular stock. So many things are going on. Japol suddenly is flying in full bid. And of course, Ella Lakes continues to jump. Yes, I was talking about Okonkwo. She says, Ella Lakes is making me unhappy. Just when I sold it off, it decided to peak. That's my problem with these stocks. They keep you so unhappy when you have them, and then when you dispose of them, they continue to make you even unhappier, if there's a word like that. It's really frustrating, and that's where this talk of patience. I was looking at our discussions, Okonkwo. I was reviewing our video discussions the other day, and I saw, in fact, I saved that clip and I wanted to share it. I saw when you mentioned that Ella Lakes is lagging in your portfolio and that all the other stocks are moving, especially that time it was livestock that had moved from 3 naira plus to about 9 naira, and you were very happy with livestock but not happy with Ella Lakes. And I gave an advice. I said, well, if you feel you are no longer happy with it and you want to move, it's your decision. But a lot of times, a stock like that needs time to really make the move that is required, because the market was too unsure of whether or not that stock will go forward with all of the projections they are making, no revenues, and so on and so forth. What eventually made Ella to start moving was when the MD, during their AGM, had that call, and was answering question and answer session, and he said a whole lot about how Ella Lakes now has a mill, and how they would start operating that mill from, I think, the end of the first half of the year or something like that. So suddenly interest began to pick up. And then most recently we heard that they were going to raise 250 billion naira capital. Now, that move is supposed to discourage the market. But guess what? The stock is flying. 250 billion naira for what, for instance? With not very tangible details of what they are really going to do, apart from all we already know that I shared in the group. Well, if they manage it well, that's the only question. If they are able to raise that capital and they manage it well, then Ella Lakes will be a good stock. But it will also need patience. I emphasize that patience was key. And you can't beat yourself too much. These things happen to us all the time. It always happens. Just when you decide that, okay, Transcorp has been lazying about, I think I should sell it and move on to something else. The moment you sell, then Transcorp starts moving. At times, it can happen so often, you'll be wondering, are your people in the village monitoring you? I'm talking about village people right now. But Okonkwo, what I can tell you is these are part of the pains in the stock market, and we just need to stay patient. When you buy a stock, keep it. I made an analogy some time ago about how if the farmer in Benue State who farms Boko yam for us plants the yam, he never goes back to dig it up to see what's happening with it. That's what you are doing. And that's why the long-term approach to investing is very good. That doesn't mean you couldn't have been right, because at times you can jump out of a stock and get something better and enjoy the benefits thereof. It happens a lot of times. So see this as one of those lessons, and try to, the market sometimes teaches us patience. And then of course the market eventually has a mind of its own, right? So that's one thing. I jumped out of Transcorp. I sold Transcorp at 44 when I saw other greater opportunities. If you like, I can tell you, I actually sold that Transcorp to buy Vitafoam, and I bought that Vitafoam at 55 when that's to top up on what the Vitafoam I had already. The moment I sold Transcorp 44, it jumped, boom, to 49. So maybe this should also console you a bit, and maybe you understand that these things happen from time to time. I hope you get the point now, but we must move on. One thing you should encourage yourself with is that you have come in contact with a system of wealth creation that is limitless. I can tell you, you are face to face with your financial freedom, face to face. Every other thing you need is time, not the money you don't have, because money will come. From time to time, money will keep coming left, right, and center. And this is why we discourage unnecessary spendings. All the monies we've wasted over the years, we can't lay our hands on anything to say this is what we did with it. But you know what? If you buy stocks, the charms you see today at 2 naira 35 kobo, you'll be amazed what becomes of it even a year from now, not to talk of 10 years from now. I was scrolling through charms. I wanted to make a post before the live session time came, and I saw something called Charms Mobile. Now, what's that? Charms is coming up with all sorts of products that will shock the market. So whatever you may have lost in Ella Lakes, find a way to quickly make amends. Maybe through Charms or any other thing. By the way, even Qtix is surprising everybody. I myself, who told you about Qtix, kept waiting, thinking it's one of those days when market will eventually find its way back and then I will get into the bus. Up till this very moment, I do not have one Qtix. So I am a carrier of good news, so many good news that I'm not able to participate in or partake of. But guess what? Just guess what? My joy is that I'm seeing feedbacks from people here, and everybody is really getting on something, and their money is growing. That's why we're here. Congratulations, everybody. So, FTN Cocoa is scarce. DJ Imiga, if you are still listening, Dangote Sugar, you can buy. Universal Press, University Press Limited, I've not checked. But you know what? Just have a long-term mentality. The stock market is really bubbling with money. I told you, institutional money is coming into the stock market from the money markets, and it will continue. That's what we're experiencing now, and you don't want to be left out. It's almost like cash is no longer king right now. Whatever cash you have, put it in the market, because by all means, things are growing. But I'm here also to give you a word of caution, everybody. Just listen. Do not buy junk stocks, because their judgment day is getting close. When they start publishing results, the poor performing stocks will eventually give you headaches, because the market will punish any stock that does not perform. Now, I'd like to let you know there is a pattern which I shared in our Discord group with our members earlier today, this morning. I saw that the moment the issue of raising 250 billion naira capital by Ella was announced, the stock price just kept going up. Now the same thing is happening with Japol. Two companies that are really still trying to find their feet to get started, to start making reasonable profit. And it's understandable for new businesses to actually struggle in the beginning, because you don't expect to start making profit from a business you started most recently, right? Now, two key things you need is a sincere management to manage whatever money they want to raise. Secondly, it is not really looking like the stock price movement is natural. It's looking very artificial, because people don't really get excited when company wants to dilute the existing shares, because that's what Ella Lakes is going to end up doing. That's also what Japol has just announced. For your information, Japol has announced that they were going to raise their share capital from 40 billion to 100 billion. What that means is that if it is 100 billion shares, for instance, it means they need 100 billion naira profit after tax to be able to pay dividend of 1 naira per share. And yet, we have not seen any reasonable profit after tax yet. So one needs to be careful where you're putting your money. You can play the trading game with some of these stocks, actually, and still profit and get out early. But, you know, the market has a mind of its own. Maybe there are more details that we don't yet know about what's really going on with these two stocks. So stay safe and also find a way, if you can, to benefit from these stocks. By all means, what I can tell you is no room for regrets at all. We learn every day, every step of the way. A lot of times I've told people, leave that stock alone. Right now, Owando is frustrating some people, right? Owando can get up and shock people again. One news after the other can just come up and things will change. The market can be irrational, but don't follow the market to stay irrational. All right? Okay, let's keep going. What's happening in the market right now? Like I said, if you look at Japol right now, you will see that Japol is jumping. Let's see how much it is and what the bid and offer status is like at the moment. There you go, Japol, 2.72 naira kobo per share. It's on full bid, 68 million bids. You get the point now? So if you will not become a herd mentality investor, you will avoid a lot of pitfalls. And if you have a few of these things that I tell you about, it will help you a lot. And that's why we are here to give you guidance. If you're buying Japol, swing trade. In any case, it's going to be difficult to buy right now because it's at 68 million shares bidded for, no offers. 148 million traded, 404 million naira spent on Japol. And then, ladies and gentlemen, are you here and you are still holding your Honeywell floor? Suddenly, Honeywell floor also jumps into full bid, 3.5 million shares bidded for, 0 offers. and Honeywell Floor, 3.7 million shares traded already, valued at 96 million naira. Guess what? 26 naira per share. This is a stock we bought at 4 naira 95 kobo and upwards. Some people even bought at 12 naira. Some have asked me, can I sell my Honeywell? And I've said, we really don't know what the payout will be. I mentioned that even this week, right? Guess what? 26 naira, no offer in the market as we speak, 3.5 million bids. Congratulations if you are a holder of Honeywell Floor. Listen, every day you wake up, celebrate life, because you are amongst the few who have just been exposed to how to really grow money and become wealthy. I've told you I'm in your life to make sure that that ceiling over your financial status is broken. Some of you have not been able to hit above 1 million. Every time you try to reach 1 million, you find yourself down. It's not going to happen again. You will shoot above 1 million. Some of you are in millions, but you've not met up your tens of millions. We are here to push you to that stage. Some of you have made tens of millions, but whenever it's close to 100 million, you just can't get that net worth. That's why we're called Net Worth Investors Club. We plant our money or invest our money in the stock market and in the money markets to increase our net worth. Some of you are going to be hitting above 100 million net worth for the first time. Some of you are in your hundreds of millions. You haven't hit half a billion. You will hit 500 billion and go ahead. 500 million and go ahead. Some are struggling under 1 billion. With this community, you are going to fly. Listen, I'm celebrating with fashion designer in Lagos. She's so excited. Things are working, and I'm seeing all her posts. Time will not permit me to pick it all up, but this is to encourage every young lady out there. I told you something. The reason why I want you to be rich is so that you can walk out of any situation you don't like. And I mean any situation you don't like. That's what money can do for you. Everybody has the right to enjoy their life at their own terms, right? CWG 46% up for me. That's what she says. Fashion designer in Lagos. And I'm sure some young people watching now are really, really encouraged. Come on now. Nima Awak says, Coach, I made 337% on Carverton and 126% on Presco. Yay. That's another lady there. Everybody just flying. Isn't this interesting? And we are just getting started, if you like. Why? Because, I repeat, bond rates are dropping. Money is moving from the money markets now to the stock market. We were all here when money was leaving the stock market into the money markets, and the stock market was crashing. We are still here. We have taken position, and now the market is rebounding. The Nigerian stock market is really performing, and I'm sure it's outperforming a lot of stock exchanges in Africa. Hopefully, we get that rating sorted out. On to your comments. Thank you, Coach. You are a godsend. God bless you. Thank you very much, Akudo Onyido. Please, everybody, stay invested. Is anyone still in a battle and a struggle for money? Well, this is how we do it legitimately. There is no fraud around this. And you too can do it. Digital AK says, I'm up 120% on TIP. TIP is on fire, and only God knows where it will slow down. For now, above 9 naira, it's trying to knock on the 10 naira door, and maybe it wants to exit the penny stock range. Who knows? Coach, I bought at 50 kobo per share, but didn't buy enough units because I wasn't informed. Mazire, what are you talking about? I'm trying to see if you had posted something else before. What did you buy at 50 kobo per share? If you are not following me, you can see you are losing money. And that's why from this moment forward, if you are not following me on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, wherever, do well to follow now, because these updates will keep coming. When every other stock runs out of reach, I'm looking at Jaiz Bank now, it's still within range. I'm surprised it's still sitting at 3 naira 18 kobo. But you know what? The market will eventually look for it and come for it. Look at, just imagine, TIP is selling for 9.20 kobo, and somebody just transacted 473,000 shares at once for TIP. So if the market closes today, TIP will just close at 9.20 kobo before our very eyes. And it's just about 7-8 months ago when this same stock was selling for 195. Come on now. Everybody make money. Do not stand by and still keep watching. Somebody is there still watching and others are making money. You are still hesitant. If life is all about risks, and now this is a less risky approach to investing, long-term under guidance, and you are given one or two few details about a stock for you to make up your mind on what to buy. OJ say, preach, Papa. Okay, thank you, Coach. I'm 126% up with Honeywell. That's from Godwin Otoibi. Wonderful. I told you, but I told you guys, in January, I told you that we are making money this year. Are we or are we not? Come on. If we are making money this year, keep typing, we are making money. We are making money. This year, we are making money. Suddenly, Veritas is also climbing 104. At the moment, how many people bought Mutual Benefits Assurance? That stock was doing 105, 102, 98 kobo, and so on and so forth. And I was waiting to comfortably take position under 1 naira before my wait could be over. Well, Mutual Benefits, another major surprise. The way it has leaped is really amazing. Mutual Benefits, currently 1 naira 33 kobo. The leap is so much, you can imagine. OJ says, you see this money, I must make it legit through my investments and this lovely club. Awesome. Mazire says, Coach, I bought Honeywell at 50 kobo, but didn't buy enough units because I wasn't informed. Really? When did you buy Honeywell 50 kobo? That must have been a very long time. Wow. Okonkwo says, I need more of Cavatin. Please, Cavatin has really gone very high. Let's see how much Cavatin is right now. Cavatin 6. Imagine all these 2 naira stocks and 1 naira stocks. They've all flown away. Let your money not sit by and watch. Listen, even a stock like ROT Briscoe, last year it got up to as high as, wow, the bids are mounting, 9 million bids for ROT Briscoe. Well, Jai is 318 still. There's still a chance. Tip and name it on fire. Absolutely. This is something out of this world. And that's why the market continues to have a mind of its own. Keep your questions coming in. It's really exciting today. We are seeing results right now for all the labor that we have been putting in. Good afternoon, Coach. Which stocks can I buy for capital appreciation and long term as a beginner? Now, I was looking through today and I saw on the premium board that First Holdco is still at 25. And I am thinking this stock shouldn't be selling at this price right now unless somebody is being favored by the market to buy it now. Wellness and Skin says, I'm glad these things are skipping very fast beyond the pace I am able to catch up with. Oh yes, we are making money. I can see your comments right now. We are making money this year. Okay, OJ says, I'm accumulating my investment for long. Oh no, this thing is skipping too fast. I'm so sorry if I have not read your message. It's an error from the speed at which the system skips. Do well to retype so I can attend to you. Sold my Honeywell at 130% to buy CWG, and now I'm up 50% on CWG. That's a fast and a quick, smart move. Austin Ebube, it almost seems like it has worked perfectly. For CWG, it sometimes can be a bit risky because of the way it's struggled to climb up to 9 and above 10. But you know what? There comes a time when that heavy seller, I kept telling us, towards the end of trading, a heavy seller will come in, dump on the stock, and the price will go down. But it looks like that seller is done. That's the same scenario with a stock like Aradel. When that heavy seller is done, then the supplies will begin to dry up. As for Charms, we had the same experience. So most of these stocks, there is a specific trend that flows. And if you can understand it very well, you stay calm where you are and patiently wait for when the time comes. right? Something is going on. Charms, 12 million bids. Okay. I don't know if anybody, we are not that big for people to be responding to the things we are saying here, but I can tell you that 12.7 million bids, just 4 million offers. So before you know it, between today and tomorrow, Charms may just get out of hand and become out of reach. Now, Charms is one stock that I can see a more natural movement. Forget bias. When it comes to looking at the offer that they have decided to do, all right? Rights issue, they have announced ahead of time. No influencing the market price to ensure that it goes high enough for them to now increase the rights issue price beyond 2 naira or something, because they could have done that. Engage market makers, try to make the price rise. It is not illegal to engage market makers. Let's understand this. They are all procedures that are followed in the market. As long as the rule books are not broken, market makers could create some level of demand and supply situations to favor the stock price rise. And then the valuation is out of this world. And then they say, okay, we are doing rights issue, and then they generate money. Charms just decided, give us a discount, 170, and that's because the owners of the company are going to also partake of the rights issue going on. So you are looking at it in the market at 2 naira 35 kobo. You are going to receive some at a very fantastic discount to add to what you have. And upon that, normally, if we're in a down market, Charms is supposed to lose, but it's not going to lose. So Charms holders are actually being rewarded more right now because they are getting it at 170 later. The price in the market continues to go up because there is no other place to go. It has even stagnated for too long. And maybe, just maybe, when the rights is over, you will get to know more of the businesses that they have engaged in. All right? Is it a good time to buy Jaiz and Fidelity? Absolutely. That's another stock I was going to talk about. Fidelity. If you are looking for what to buy in the market right now, I don't know how much you have. You know when people type, I have 500K. What should I buy now? I have 1 million naira. What should I buy now? I have 5 million naira. What should I buy now? Listen, whatever money you have now, these are the stocks to buy based on the current situation in the market. Fidelity Bank, Charms, Jaiz Bank, First Bank. I don't know which other stock is not on full bid, and I will advise you, do not run after any stock that is on full bid. Even if you want to queue for a stock, don't go and buy at the highest price. If you do not have it before it starts running and it cannot come down for you to buy, forget it. That stock is not for you. If you chase, you are going to buy it just when others are dumping, and they can dump systematically. If you had Ella Lakes before it started jumping, fantastic, congratulations. You keep making money and keep progressing. But that should not be the case for any other stock that is running. If you are not in it and it is refusing to come pick you up where you have bidded for, look elsewhere, because there are so many opportunities. Now take a look at this. KC says, sold my Honeywell at 458% profit to top up my Aradel. That's a fantastic move as well. Irrespective of where Honeywell jumps to, it's okay. I mean, I can tell you for free, 458% is fantastic. Now, the beauty of this thing is mastering the fear of missing out. Talking about FOMO. Deal with your emotions, right? Because the market is a place full of all sorts of emotions. You want to deal with it by not being moved and not being shaken. At times, it's good to hold cash. At times, it's good to spend the money in the market, but never ever be pushed to buy a stock or sell a stock because the whole world is doing it. All right? Before our very eyes, transactions continues to rise. Even CWG, with all the bids available, is still, all the offers available, is still not budging anymore. Right? Okay, guess what? QTix, 3 naira 96 kobo, full bid, 18 million bids. See QTix of 1 naira 79 kobo and 2 naira 45 kobo. Just take a look at this. Everybody now wants QTix. Congratulations to everyone. And do you know what? We are also raising rich kids. Do you remember? We were mentioning QTix, UPDC, charms, and all these penny stocks for our kids, including TIP. Now, before your very eyes, the investments you have done for your kids in their minor account is growing. Who can beat that? Nobody, right? That's what we are all about. So we are not only personally getting wealthy, our children are also already getting wealthy, whether they know it or not at the moment. And that's why I am working on a project that will eventually begin to integrate children into investing. I'm starting with the kids. I will have the kids. I will have the teenagers as well. That is the preteens and teenagers, but the kids first. When you start showing them the way of investing, you have created a lifetime legacy, right? So when is Charms doing the rights issue? The rights issue is actually awaiting approval from the Securities and Exchange Commission. So any moment, announcement will be done, and then all Charms holders will be sent 1 for 2, meaning for every one you have, for every 2 you have, they give you 1 to pay at a discount of 1 naira 70 kobo per share. Okay? So whatever quantity of charms you had, but the qualification date has passed. If you bought charms recently, you are not qualified for that rights issue. The qualification date was the 16th of last month. If I'm not mistaken, 16th of the month of June. If you had charms on or before that date, then you will qualify for the rights. So divide the number of charms you have by 2. Whatever you get as your answer is the number of charms you should provide money for at 1 naira 70 kobo per share. All right? Okay, all I know is that we are making money this year. And I'm glad most of you are aware of this. Yes? All right. So let's keep going. Send your questions in. CNI leasing is on full bid. Well. Maybe its turn has finally come. Yesterday, they sold a lot out, and today, CNI is another very diversified company, but they have a lot of shares in circulation. In any case, let's watch and see. We are already in the era of, I'm saying it's a full bid era for penny stocks. So penny stocks are really gaining ascendancy, and this is why you must find a way to balance your portfolio. Until you tell me to sell my Honeywell, I won't. Oh, thank you, coach. Allow me. You are riding high on that. I'm sure you bought very cheap, under 10 naira. If possible, maybe 6 or 7 naira, I am guessing. Good day, coach. Is Cornhall a good buy? I've said this before. If you've been here before, you would have heard me say Cornhall is a good insurance company to buy as long as you have the patience to hold the stock, especially if you can keep buying under 3 naira. Currently, the supply is more than the bid, 6 million versus 3.6 million bids, so you can comfortably put in a bid under 3 naira, and hopefully you get sold too. At the moment, 3 million shares have been traded, worth 9 million naira. Sir, when will Dangote fertilizer be listed? I am waiting. Glorizzi, I hear that Dangote fertilizer may be listed towards the end of this year, and then the refinery will be listed next year. So you want to wait towards the end of the year to get more details. How do I get started? I'm in the UK. Kunzil, you are in the UK. To get started, just send me a DM. I'll send you the link to open your brokerage account. You can invest from anywhere you are. I'm so excited with the multiple profits that you people are making here, right? And this is why we must continue to share. Please, go on that YouTube channel. You don't know which life you will save by just sharing. I can tell you, somebody like Alerted King has done a lot sharing the live session here. But guess what? Our job is not done. Go to the YouTube channel, share it, share the videos, and you just don't know who you are saving. Imagine if I kept this information to myself, because what you people don't know is that I'm a naturally private person. Very private. I can be in a room as long as I have everything I need. 1 full month I've not stepped out. Why? I am a lone ranger. I study hard. I can focus on something, dig it from beginning to end, and get what I want from it. That's the kind of person I am. So I love to use my time. I'm that private. I'm not very outgoing, right? What if, in that my nature, I just kept to myself and just continue to do these things? I've been doing it for years. But I suddenly got the leading to come on now, share this information, because I can't enjoy it alone. And here we are. So others joining doesn't bother your progress. Now, that means you are actually a blessing to mankind if you can share with others. So go on the YouTube channel, subscribe for free, and then share all the videos. There are people looking for this information. People need to be liberated, and people need to be restored. Their dignity must be restored. You don't have to steal or do anything funny, degrading to yourself, to your person, right? To make money. Money is all over the place. This is the same Nigeria that is hard, that is difficult. This is the same Nigeria people are running away from. And we are here making 400%, 100 and something percent before our very eyes, legitimate. If you are not following me, you now agree with me that you are losing money. Do you want to keep losing money? Right? Straightforward. The whole concept of this gathering, the whole concept of this community, the whole concept, the whole idea of Net Worth Investors Club that we are was very inspirational. It's beyond the physical. That's why it is so easy. It's not a case of you're bringing money for somebody to invest for you. No, it's a do-it-yourself club. And you are now seeing it happen for you live. Right? Come on now. Let's go ahead and continue to bless mankind. Your presence alone here is a blessing, because even when you call in to share your testimonies, when you type comments about how you are progressing, you are blessing a soul somewhere. And you don't need the whole money in this world to get started. That's the beauty of this one. Even if you are a real estate enthusiast, you can build capital from the stock market and then move capital from the stock market to fund your real estate dream. Too many things you can do. That business that looks like it is stalling, that business that you have gone to the bank for loan, they are refusing. You have met your uncles and friends, they are rejecting you. You can settle down, build capital from the stock market, give yourself 2 to 3 to 5 years, pick the capital you have built, and get into that business in a grand style, debt-free. That's what I do. I've told you I'm an employer of labor. That's the part you don't know about me. But all of those businesses were funded from investing in the stock market. So there is a lot you can achieve. You are doing a job right now that you are not very happy with, but you just have to go to work every day. Whereas you have a passion for a particular business. Maybe you intend to be an international business person that travels to China to get some things and bring into Nigeria. Whatever, start investing. That's why it's called capital market. Companies come to the capital market to raise money, doing public offer rights issue and all of that. Individuals should come to the market to raise capital for their own personal projects. So it's a capital market for a reason. Everybody go in there, generate capital for yourself, and go and live the life that you ought to live, right? No matter where you are in this world, we are in the best of times. I'm telling you, in those days, there was no internet when we started. 27 years ago, you must find your way to anywhere the stockbroker is in your city. And stockbrokers were not all over the place. Now, as long as you have internet, you can access a broker from anywhere, no matter what. We've heard Alhaji Adamu investing from Maiduguri. We know that stockbroking firms will hardly go and open offices in Maiduguri. Guess what? Anywhere you are, Nigerians in the diaspora, you are missing out of the party. Come on now. Don't miss out. Today's session is really explosive and everywhere is on fire. I hope your portfolios are turning green as the leaves in the garden. Coach, at what price do you advise I go in for charms? At whatever price you see charms. Right now, it's 2 naira 35 kobo. It has stayed very long at that particular price. If not for anything, I would have, because there are 12 million bids versus 4.5 million offers. So the bids are more than the offers. Remember, half-year result is coming. You want to invest in the best companies, and if you are not sure of the company you are investing in terms of how strong or how solid their performance will be, make sure that you are out before the financial result is out, so that you don't get trapped when people dump, perhaps because maybe they didn't do well. Right? Okay, Orilo Nishe says, thank you, Coach, for making a good impact in our lives. It's my pleasure. When I hear that you are making progress, I'm fulfilled. Honestly, this thing is beyond money. So it's not about charging you for money. It's about the fulfillment I get because I'm also making my money, right? If it didn't work for me, then I'll be lying to you, and then I'll be looking for how to collect your money. But it has worked for me, and I'm sharing to you, and when it works for you too, it tells me how smart you are, and it makes me excited that we're getting results. What can I invest? 200,000. I've told you before, Fidelity, Charms, First Bank, Jais Bank. These companies are very okay and are available, because I will not tell you to go and start chasing Ella Lakes. Neither will I tell you to go and start chasing Q-Ticks right now. Neither will I tell you to go and start chasing any other stock like Honeywell Floor. We don't do that, because that will be me making you, pushing you to make the mistakes I made 27 years ago. It shouldn't be so, right? Engineer or Labode, how do I get a stockbroker? There are so many stockbrokers out there, but if you wish to use the stockbroker I use and recommend, then send me a DM on Instagram at Wealth Coach Omiete. Let me type my Instagram handle so that you can see it. That's also the YouTube channel. Search me out on YouTube and subscribe for free, and then feel free to send me a DM on Instagram. That's it there. Send me a DM on Instagram. I'll send you the link to open your brokerage account. We are fortunate to have that broker also join us from time to time to attend to customer needs. All the issues that were raised about, oh, my account is having issues, this and that, they've all been cleared. As we speak, any issue now must be fresh, right? That's the benefit we enjoy. But beyond that, why do I recommend Atlas? I said I've been in this for 27 years, and I've used up to between 5 and 6 stockbrokers. This is the one I met and saw that they give me everything I need. Anywhere I am in the world, I can access my account and transact as often as I want, and everything is seamless. They are even, I hear they're trying to improve on confirmation of deposits, which will be wonderful, right? So, long and short, I don't preach what I don't practice. I practice what I preach, so you see the same results I get in your portfolio. They charge the lowest commissions, real-time data transmission, excellent, right? Okay, enough said. We go ahead to your questions. I have 100K, Coach. Well, I've just mentioned stocks to buy. Please, how can I fund my Atlas account? Check the emails they sent you earlier. You must have seen their bank details in Sterling Bank and GT Bank. I will advise you, when you're making your transfer, always send to GT. That's because the confirmation there is faster. I'm told, or I heard, that there's always one difficulty or the other confirming transfers done through Sterling Bank, right? So take note of that. Please, how can I, okay, Coach, can I leave my investment stock in AfriInvest? Why not? If not, you can leave it there. You are the CEO of your portfolio. There is no bad mouthing any company. That's not why I'm here. But you know what? I am obliged to tell you truths when I see one, irrespective of whose ox is gored, right? So what is good for me is good for you. That's what I believe. So I will give you details, then you make up your mind. For now, if you feel okay, you want to leave it there, let it be growing, fantastic, not a problem at all. But you see, you can open multiple accounts if you want. If you want to stick with them, whoever you use, not a problem. For me, buy stocks and buy the stocks that will grow your portfolio. That's all I'm after, right? How do we buy the rights issue having qualified for Charms? Are we to mail our stockbroker? The stockbrokers themselves, you will get to know in the course of our daily live sessions like this, so that you will eventually apply through your stockbroker. They will send you emails of the forms to subscribe, to take up your rights, and then make funds available in your account so they can debit you when you submit the forms to them. That's the way to apply for your rights. We are multiplying money. Olusheyi Adebiyi has just put it in another way. Thank you very much for that. Coach, what do you think of Regalins? It retraced. Be careful with penny insurance stocks. I haven't checked Regal Insurance to know exactly what their finances are, but please be very vigilant. How do we buy the rights? Okay, I've responded to that dossier. Coach, I have made 187% in LLX and 200 and what? 39% in Caverton. Additional has been quietly making money, and he has just informed us right now. Can you see? This could be you. It's really, really gratifying to hear. And I want to congratulate all of you who are doing this right now. This is the most explosive session. Suddenly, I didn't ask that you tell me what you have done. But you see, sometimes it's better for results to speak for themselves. Okay? And it's really interesting. The phone lines will be open 1 hour into this session, where we will now start taking calls more than comments. So keep your comments coming in. We're trying to get the live session always better organized as we make progress, okay? So 1 hour into the live session, I'll keep giving briefs and talking about what's happening, responding to your comments on the comment section. Then after then, we now have the remaining 1 hour to take more calls. So keep your questions intact. If you have calls to make, feel free to make them. What's your thoughts on Access Holdings? Well, everybody is wondering whether Access Holdings will keep to their promise. You know, the market continues to get weary about how they've been very economical with dividend payouts. You know, Access is supposed to be at the same range with UBA, for instance. Just as FCMB is supposed to be at the same range with Fidelity. But you know what? This is like a school. The market, the stock market is like a school. Everybody is writing their exams and marking their scripts, all right? If you fail to continue to pay dividends or increase dividend like your peers will leave you behind. UBA decided last year to step up their dividend payout, and what happened? The price jumped from perpetually being under 10 naira. Even when it grew to around 16, UBA jumped from 16 last year to 30-something as we speak. But Access continued to give meager dividends, and the market simply marked their script and said, okay, if that is what you will keep doing, acquiring banks outside the country and all over the place, and then paying shareholders little dividends, well, we will be done with you and then go elsewhere. So the price difference began to show between those two. Now, in the last AGM, the group managing director promised shareholders that they are going to slow down on acquisitions and increase dividend payouts. If Access keeps to the promise, it's good to take up Access at 22 and 20 naira per share, depending on how low it drops, right? So it's between prove your words before we act. That's the situation with Access. Now, the same applies to First Bank. The MD of First Bank came in and said he did not invest 300 billion naira into the bank. I mean, the chairman, the current chairman, Femi Otedola, says he did not invest 300 billion naira into First Bank only to be receiving 60 kobo dividend. Can you imagine? 60 kobo. When Fidelity Bank paid 85 kobo final dividend. Fidelity, for the first time from last year, have started paying dividend twice a year. Just like UBA, Zenith, GTCO does, twice a year. And Stanbic, twice a year. So what has kept First Bank where it is the old name. You know, they say form is temporary, class is permanent. That's what has sustained First Bank. And now that a very proactive businessman has found his way into the board and is now the chairman, don't expect that they will keep paying 60 kobo. It's not possible. And I've seen some very interesting cleanup moves that they've made, trying to block leakages here and there and so on. So First Bank may be surprising the market soon. Take that from me, right? So that's the case. So you need to be sure where you are investing. Right? Okay, Dozier says I'm 15% up in Zenith, 54% up in TIPS, 16% up in UPDC, 76% up in FT and Cocoa, 22% in Boa Cement. Congratulations. I remember your story. We had a close chat in the beginnings. Dozier has been a long-time member right from when we were on WhatsApp as a group, right? And I'm so happy with what I'm seeing right now. And if you like, you can call in to share a little bit of your experience as well. When the lines will be open in the next 9 minutes, I will leave the lines open so other people can be encouraged. I remember somebody in Germany who got frustrated with the outcome of his foray into the stock market many years ago, especially during the 2007-2008 market crash. And then, but he said he saw my videos and then started picking up interest again and then revived his interest, and things have changed completely. Now he's thinking of retiring from work and going back. He's a northerner in Nigeria, but he's currently based in Germany. He said he's working towards his retirement, towards going back to farming in the north. You know, when they say farming, that's where money is. And we're not talking about the localized farming. Farming requires a lot of money. So maybe, like I told you, individuals can also use the capital market to build capital to venture into other bigger businesses. That's what our brother in Germany might just be working on, because he called one day during the live session like this and told us how everything has changed and things are looking great right now, right? So anybody can tap from your testimonial, right? Coach, I heard from November 28th, capital market will adopt T+2 settlement cycle. Absolutely correct. Gabi Worldwide, you are in the news, and that's very correct. Remember, now let's go on to our knowledge session. There's a standard approach to the settlement cycle of every transaction. I'll explain. From the time you sell a stock, if you sell, your money is not really in cash yet. That's because when you sell, you are selling to somebody assuming that uses another broker through your own broker, right? Now, the transaction is done. When you sell, you go away. The two stockbrokers at the close of business that day sits down to reconcile transactions amongst the both of them. There must have been buying and selling through their various clients. So they settle down to agree. Okay, so and so transaction was done with you, sold, and then you two, your clients sold to me. We balance out, and at the end, the one who has the least amount of transactions in cash will now issue checks to the one who needs to collect for balancing out. Or every sale done will be paid for by the other broker whose client it was sold to. So they do this settlement behind the scene. When checks are issued, these checks go for clearing. 3 days after clearing, then the money matures. Then they now post into your account. That's why we have a system in the NGX, talking about the Nigerian exchange, whereby T stands for trading day plus 3, meaning from the day you sell a stock, you will wait another 3 days, making it a cycle of 4 straight days before the money you sold will eventually become cash in your bank account. These are the behind-the-scene processes that happens. That's why when you sell a stock today, you have to wait if you need the cash. But you know what? With digitally inclined brokerage firms, if you sell, you can actually rebuy another stock almost immediately. But if you want to convert to cash, it will now take those number of days. In any case, if you need the cash urgently, some brokers actually offer services such as, yes, possible same day, but they will charge you a certain percentage of what you are withdrawing on the same day. It happens also. If you are happy with the deduction, then they do that for you, and you collect your money same day. So what the stock exchange is now trying to do is to reduce the settlement cycle from T+3 to to T plus 2. And just as has been stated here earlier by Gabi Worldwide, from November 28, that is going to happen. So reduced settlement cycle. But what we are asking for is the 10% maximum gain or loss rule should be a bit increased, because it is slowing down the volatility of the market and therefore the opportunity that people can really make money from. That's why day trading Nigerian stocks is not very attractive, unlike the US market. Okay, so in the Nigerian market, there's a maximum 10% plus or minus gain that must be made per day. Anything more than that can't happen. All right, so you need 10% gains for stock prices to change. Okay, so it's not very good for day trading, but it's okay for long-term investment and swing trading, because you need some days, some weeks, some months for swing trades to mature into very good profits, right? So that's about the settlement cycle in the Nigerian Stock Exchange. I hope this knowledge session also helps to deepen our knowledge, because we are not just here to point what you need to do. We are here to also give you some level of education. Ladies and gentlemen, before our very eyes, International Breweries 15 naira per share, gaining 1 naira 10 kobo. The brewery sector is boiling. And now that tells me also that a stock like Guinness has stagnated for too long and should start finding a way to move. Let's see what's the situation with a stock like Guinness, right? Guinness is 88 naira 50 kobo as we speak. It's really, really interesting to see that it hasn't moved too far since after the 77 it was when I mentioned it. In any case, those who are interested, Guinness presents an opportunity, but you've got to stay patient. Now we are in the penny stock era of full beads. So those expensive ones may not be looking attractive. And you know what people will do? People will use their free cash to try to quickly trade or swing trade these penny stocks, make some money and jump out very fast. That's what people will do. Yes? If I buy Champs now, will I still be qualified for the rights offer? Christine, Yemajo, Yemoja, no. The qualification date is over. Vivian, your money says, Tip is giving me joy, 90% up. You see that? Fantastic. I have winners in this house. You guys are simply amazing. Man, coach, is it too late to get into MTN or Dangote Cement? Should I wait to see it drops or jump in now? Major Tycoon. Actually, MTN has been experiencing a pullback, and so it looks like it is not a bad time to take position, because after it rose to about 358 naira, it's been pulling back. And for me, these are the times to buy a stock when there is a pullback. Whether it will pull below the 345 it is now, we really can't tell. That's another thing, right? As I'm talking to you now, more sales are going on of MTN suddenly, and it's now at 342, right? It's back to 345. It looks like somebody is trying to retain the 345, because the last 345 that came up after it dropped to 342 is just 10 shares. Somebody just bought 10 shares of MTN just to bring it back to 345. Okay? So MTN and then Dangote Cement. This is how to buy stocks. When a good stock is not enjoying patronage or attention, that's when to buy it. And Dangote Cement is more like a stock like that as well. Currently being ignored quietly, and then everybody's jumping around. There will come a time when that stock will move, right? It's all about patience. It's all about also knowing that every stock has its own day. Don't be too moved when others are jumping and maybe one of them that you own is not moving. It will eventually come back to reward you, unless it is a stock that is not a very good business. Okay? All right. I can't wait to see what Friday looks like, the way the interest is building here. I need a digital broker, okay? I need a digital broker for stocks. Any recommendations? Atlas Portfolios, very simple. Michael Okpiaru, Atlas Portfolios is fine. Just send me a DM on Instagram and I will reply with the registration link. Are they on Play Store? No, they are not an app. They have a mobile, a web portal, right? What do you think about Japol Gold, Coach? I've said a lot about Japol Gold from the beginning. Not much in terms of financial performance yet, and now they are projecting to increase their share capital to 100 billion from 40 billion. That's a massive dilution they want to do. The problem is, what value are they creating now to help to make their per share metrics reasonable enough to attract or retain whatever price it is? Yes, good day, Coach. Should I stay with RT Briscoe for the ride? I'm up 17% currently on full bid. Stay there. Stay there. Chini Nora, don't go nowhere. Your time has finally come. RT Briscoe is about to sail. Stay there. Stay put. Let nothing from anywhere ever push you to sell your RT Briscoe. Please, please, and please. Yes? All right. I'm saying this with all urgency because I don't want to hear any regrettable stories, because you've been courageous enough to buy that stock, and it's looking like it will enjoy some good patronage. All right. Coach, can I top up my UBA and first hold co at what price? Please go in, all in for your first hold co particularly. Talk about Living Trust. Living Trust. Living Trust must be an insurance company. I haven't, let's see what at least the current status is. Just give me a moment. Living Trust. Well, I can't find Living Trust here. What's the ticker symbol? What we have here as an insurance company is Linkage Assurance. Okay, Japol set a target of 30 million ounces of gold from now until 2030. They are trying hard to revive. Well. We've heard all these stories before. It's just like what Owando is doing. Owando will tell you about CWG and what you call all kinds of AI, self-driven trucks and all that, renewable energy. In fact, even Owando is going into mining, for your information. We don't want stories. We want action. And usually, all this type of talk comes when they want to raise money. Every time they are raising money left, right, and center. For me, there are still places to put money and get very good value. And most of all, let's not forget, these things can actually materialize, but we just need to be alert. It's still a risk. It's like starting a new business. They are into mining, yes. They say they have a gold mine in Osun State or somewhere in the West, yes. But where are the results? And then mining is not what you do overnight. Just like agriculture, real agriculture, and that's what I'm talking about, Ella Lakes. Going into full-time plantation like Presco and Okomo, it's not a day's job. It doesn't happen overnight. So let's come straight, let's come real and be honest and do projections that people can relate with and is true. And let's match every action with, every word with action, right? So let's not raise, Japol has been raising capital severally from when they were maritime, and then we heard they were drilling sand. They were into drilling sand, right? And so on and so forth. So enough of words. Just like Aradel goes into the oil industry and does fantastically. I'm telling you, Aradel goes into oil industry and does fantastically quietly before ever coming to the market. Tip quietly goes into the business and are bringing results and people can see without struggle. The price just booms. This was a tip that was, tip was established when? 2000 and something, in the 2000s. The tip we see today. Whereas these other companies have been there. So time shall tell. In the end. Stocks to buy with 100K. Well, I've mentioned several stocks already. The line shall now be open for callers to come in. rebuild and rise. You are our first star. Hello.
Hello,
Good afternoon. Tell us your name and where you're streaming from.
my name is James. I'm streaming from the UK.
James from the UK, we're glad to have you here. I hope your portfolio is doing well. Tell us.
Well, my portfolio is magnificent.
Awesome.
I mean, I am very elated. Since yesterday, was it yesterday or Monday? I joined the live, and I had mixed feelings and good feelings and maybe bad feelings in a way. The good feeling is that my portfolio is doing so well. I joined or I came across your live section barely 3 months now, and my portfolio had gained just 10% since that time. Now, 10% doesn't sound much for those listening, but that is someone's annual salary. So I don't want to mention the figure here. And I mean, that's the easiest money I've ever made because I didn't have to lift a finger, you know, to do that. And the other feeling is this because that was a comment. Probably you might not get the comment right. I made on that last stream, and it was like this. Like, I mean, with the gains I'm seeing on my portfolio, I was like, Coach, is this a one-off thing or is it going to be like this? Because sincerely, I was like, man, I have, all these stocks you talk about, I get them: Charms, Aradel, Qtix, Tips, International Brewery, Honeyflower, Elalix. I mean, and for most of them, I'm over 200%, 100%, like that. So I'm just like, are you sure this is not just opportunity comes but once? you know? And I have this FOMO that you're explaining, but in a different way. Like, I really need so much money to put in to grab this, to grab it even more than I'm doing now. Because anytime I come on, I just see, you know. And then one amazing thing with CWG was this: on Friday, I placed a bid for 1090. This past Friday, it was around 11:30, and I was hoping to get at 1090. But something was telling me, just buy it now. I mean, you're buying for long term. I mean, that's your investment goal. And then I held back a little. Let me just see how it goes. And then on Monday, WG was 12. I was like, what the hell? What is this? And I bought it, and now it's over 14. You see, so coach, it's barely 3 months I've been here, and some of my big movers in my portfolio have never started moving, like them Aradels, like them First Bank, even Zenith. They are not started moving. You following, you seeing it, but the other ones there, they are just flying. And what I'm seeing, I think I like what I'm seeing, and I don't. I'm just so grateful to you, and I'm so grateful for the day I found this live session. And again, I want to say, Coach, will it be out of place if you could lend me some money so I could invest?
All right. We'll talk about
I really need it. I really need it. There's so much opportunities everywhere.
that after the right? Before TikTok ban us to say we are doing lending and all that.
Thank you thank you. Yeah, that was just a joke, but thank you so much for your input. Thank you, Maobi. Maobi has been great. It's more like the silent juggernaut there, and I'm really grateful for this. And I know we have not even started making money, and it's like this because you keep saying we will make money this year, we will make money this year. That means we have not even started yet. So I mean, I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much.
Now, let
Thank
me
you
tell
so
you
much.
something before you go. Right? I mentioned earlier in today's live session that every stock has its own view. And sometimes you may look at some stocks you have and be wondering, what are you doing? Others are doing. Now, this
foreign in this community, the entire club is to shift away from falling prey to those feelings. It's normal that every stock has its own day. And this is why we try to tell people diversify your portfolio. That your portfolio is
Yes.
a very defensive portfolio right now, and their own time will come. When their time comes, the overall 10% rate you see there can change to 30 to 50%. But the important thing is you are in the right place at the right time, and all you need is time for what you are planting to germinate and bloom and blossom.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. And,
So
and,
just
and one more thing.
a little ones, and then
And
hopefully
one,
you will be
yeah,
happier going forward.
yes, sir. And one more thing, coach. I think I'm even making more on my Nigerian stocks than my foreign stocks, to be honest.
Absolutely. Actually, we not pay too much attention. I've not done the level of work I should do for foreign stocks. So most of my portfolio is in Nigerian stocks, and why not? If we're making good progress here, because not everybody is also able to trade foreign stocks or invest in foreign stocks. So, but it's one step at a time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right. Next caller, Z's Daps.
Hello, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Tell us your
Yes,
name
sir.
and where you're coming from.
Yeah, my name is Aziz. I'm calling from Northern Ireland.
Aziz from Northern Ireland. Go ahead. We are glad to have you here. Thank you very
So,
much.
sir,
There.
yes, sir. Please, I want to ask a question. Thank you for what you have been doing. My portfolio is up. Thank God for that, and thank you for that. I thank you very much for that. I want to ask you, what's the number of stocks that someone can have that is okay? Number of stocks in a portfolio that you can have that is okay, sir. I want to ask that, please.
Actually, there is no specific limit as to how many stocks you should have in your portfolio. Really, honestly speaking, there is no specific volume of stocks to own in your portfolio. It all depends on first, the volume of capital you have, second, the quality of stocks you pick. Now, everybody has various criteria for picking stocks, and they want to stick to whatever criteria they use to pick stocks. In that case, no barriers. So, if you are looking at between 10 to 15 stocks, as long as you build enough volume so that you feel the real impact when the returns increase, then you are good. It can be as much as 20, depending on the strategy you are applying. Let the stocks you are buying fit the strategy you have plotted, because in the end you have an investment goal from which you make the decision on what strategy to use. On that note, then if it gives you 10 stocks, fine. If it gives you 15 stocks, beautiful. But avoid over diversification, because that will scatter your money left, right, and center, and you may not get the impact when certain stocks gains. I hope you get that now. So there's
Yeah.
no hard and fast rule as to how many stocks you should have in your portfolio.
Okay, sir. Please, I have one more question, sir. I want to ask, I'm here presently, and I want to ask, is it also properly to invest in a pension account, or what can you say about that? I have shares, I
Pension
have
account
mutual
in
fund.
Northern Ireland.
Sir?
Pension account in Northern Ireland,
No, no,
where
no,
you
in
are
Nigeria, in Nigeria.
in Nigeria.
Yeah.
I don't think there's you are compelled to do that. But if it is possible, by all means, we are here to make life easier, and you can also, it's not a bad thing to do. It also adds to increasing your net worth, so you can go ahead and do that as well.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. I really appreciate, sir, for what you done.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Nafisa is next on the line. After Nafisa, Dozier comes up. Kaka Promax, good afternoon to you. Hello, Ma.
Hello, good afternoon, Coach.
Very good afternoon. It's good to have you here. Please tell us, for the sake of those who may not know, your name and where you're streaming from.
Okay, my name is Nafisa. I'm streaming from Lagos, Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Nafisa from Lagos. We appreciate your presence. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. I want to ask question about I saw somebody type something in a group that I am. It's also just they analyze, they talk about stocks, but they don't analyze, just talk about stocks and maybe some news. So somebody came and said that someone sold 163 million of Nimet shares. So the question I want to ask is, how do you know when somebody sell off their shares? How do you know? Like, is there any way you can see it? Maybe, I don't know. How do you know? Like somebody like me, how do I know that somebody has sold with name? Because the person mentioned the person's name.
Okay. First of all, there are rules in the stock exchange,
Okay.
and it's all over the world. When insider trading takes place, or it's not insider trading really, in the real sense of it, it's insider transaction. Because directors and majority stakeholders of companies whose transactions may affect the outcome of the business must always report their transactions, no matter how small or how big. So directors of name it and majority stakeholders of name it, every time they sell, they must report. It's a process. Report it, file a proper report through the registrars of the company, submit to the exchange, who will make it public so everybody knows. For instance, I posted on my Twitter handle, Instagram and Twitter, that Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, sold about 3.3 million shares of Amazon valued at
اللهم صل وسلم على سيدنا محمد.
Now, that was formally reported. The same way the MD of Zenith Bank bought Zenith Bank shares, 68 million shares. The same way the MD of Fidelity bought some millions of Fidelity shares. The same way the MD of Toyota Nigeria bought into custodian insurance. It was reported. The same way all those transactions Tony Elumelu was doing whenever he buys either of UBA, Transcorp, or any of those stocks that he is the majority shareholder, it is reported. That's how it is done. So you can get such information by following the news on the NGX website, or keeping an eye on some other news, financial services news, media outlets. So the information is of public knowledge. That way, investors are guided and they also decide on what to do. So when you hear somebody buying into stocks that they own, then it tells you, especially insiders, it tells you that they have more confidence in the stock and they are looking at it as though the stock price is undervalued.
Okay, so does that mean if I'm not an insider and I have a lot of share in a particular company, if I decide to sell off, the news will not carry it? It's only if I'm an insider. Like, let's say I have a lot of shares in a particular company and I sell off, or I buy into that company, I buy a lot of shares, but I'm not an insider. News will not carry it.
News will
Like,
not
they will
carry
not
it.
report it.
It's not necessary.
Okay.
Though
Okay.
there are certain levels of transactions that brokers are mandated to report to the exchange. That's standard. It's almost like when I was in the bank also, there are certain transactions that happens in an account, it must be reported, both corporate and individual. There is a level of transaction, but it's not to be made public. That particular one does not necessarily have to be made public. They just need to report
details of the transaction to the authorities. That's all. That's the regulators.
Okay. So thank you so much.
It's the
But
one that is done by
yeah,
the sellers.
okay, but that news was like, I don't know, I was looking at it as a rumor because I realized something in that group that I am. When people see a particular stock trying to take off, what they do is they try to talk against the stock so that panic sellers will sell, then they will buy for themselves. So I was thinking maybe that news was also that those kind of news because as of today, when market open, Nimet has been on full beat. So if somebody came to the market to supply that kind of 163 million, there should have been a kind of offer, but there was no offer since the beginning of market today. I don't know.
Okay, now
So
never mind, never mind. We are still in that knowledge session here. Your question is eliciting more details. So, if you take a look at current status, today Nemet has done 6.4 million shares, valued at 50 million naira. It hasn't reflected here because most likely
oh,
because it's a cross deal. Those types of deals are easily cross deals, house to house. Do you understand? The broker of the person
okay.
who is
Yeah.
selling discusses with the broker of the buyer and they officially carry out that transaction without necessarily passing through the floor.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Is it clear
You're
now?
learning.
So there are cross
Yeah, it's
deals.
very
Those are
clear now. Very, very clear.
behind the scenes, but they eventually end up being reported at the end of the day.
Okay, okay. So last question before I take the whole time for everybody. I just want to ask a question about let me just list some of stocks here. So if you can advise me on which one to let go out of it. I have Aradel, Charms, Qtic, CWG, Deep Capital. I have Guineans Insurance, Mansat. I have NACO, Nemet, UACN, and UBA. And I'm trying to see how I can, because it's like I've over diversified my money. So I'm thinking of which one to sell off this so that I can reduce the number of my shares because I'm looking at it this much. It's over diversifying. So among the stocks that I've listed now, which one do you think I should sell off?
Offload deep, deep cap.
Okay.
Deep cap is not in a very good financial state. Forget the recent rally for by small cap insurance stocks and all that. These are the kind of stocks that will get heavily affected if there is any market downturn. There is no
Okay.
fundamental supporting even this price of 109 as we see it here. They could do wonders and it flies away from our sight. But the fact remains that, in fact, hold on, so that it doesn't look like there is any premonition. It is a stock I have actually looked into on several occasions. I've even mentioned it before, and I said it is strictly for trading. Now, revenue information not available to me right now, but they actually recorded a loss of 181 million naira in the financial year 2024. That eventually, because they have
Yeah.
total number of shares outstanding of 1.5 billion shares, that means they are recording a loss per share of 12 kobo instead of a profit and earnings per share. So their earnings per share is negative. That's not the kind of stock you want to keep in your
Okay.
portfolio. Then the other one I would have said let go is Guinea Insurance, but Guinea is even a healthier company now if we compare it with Deep. Whether or not it has good prospects going forward, time shall tell, especially what develops in the insurance industry. I'm taking a look at Guinea Insurance now, and I will tell you the difference. Guinea actually recorded a revenue of 2.55 billion and made a net income of 973 million, which is very commendable. But they have shares outstanding of 7.9 billion, and that means their earnings per share is 12 kobo per share. That's fair for a stock under 1 naira. So the stock price can just decide to jump. I don't know if their first quarter result is out. Now that we're talking about second quarter already, well, their first quarter result is out, has been out rather, and they almost doubled their performance from 484 million revenue or premium, that's what they call it for insurance, to 706 million for the first quarter of 2025. If we go on straight to check what the profit net income is, they also increased net income from 93 million to 130 million. That's fair. And then they doubled their earnings per share from 1 kobo earnings per share in the first quarter of 2024 to 2 kobo earnings per share in the first quarter of 2025. The question now is, are you going to wait? How long will you wait for this thing to materialize to something great? Outside the fundamentals, it will give you a quick capital gain here and there, but it will still regress whenever the market tumbles. So what to do with this is to watch it keep moving because it's currently gaining now. So I'm saying Guinea is a healthier company based on the finances compared to deep capital. So for deep outright sale, no regrets. For Guinea, maybe you want to one more time wait for it to touch 1 naira, take the capital gains and jump out. Then for a more solid stock to enter, because after all these things, the market will still try to fluctuate. And it is those penny stocks that will eventually eat up some of the profits you are seeing today. So I think that's the approach. Guinea, when it touches 1 and above. For deep capital sell-off,
اللهم صل وسلم على.
All right. Okay, thank you so much.
Oh, so sorry. I didn't know you were still talking, but I guess that was all, right? Apologies for cutting you off there, but I think that could be all. Unless you have more things to say, maybe you can call back later. Now let's go on to Dozil. Hello, sir.
Good afternoon, Coach.
Very good afternoon to you. It's good to have you here. Please tell us your name and where you're streaming from.
All right, thank you very much. My name is Chidozie Chilowa, and I'm streaming from Shagamu in Ogun State precisely.
Thank you very much.
I must have to begin with showing a lot of appreciation to you, Coach Umiete. You have been a godsend for us, and I wouldn't even know where to start. Okay, to make it as brief as I can, I met Coach Umiete 2 years ago, 2003, early 2003, when I just survived the bonds from the crypto space and some other investment I didn't know how best to really go about until they really, in the local parlance, they will say, they show me shaggy. So on top of that, I lost my job. Wow. And it dawned on me that reality is here to deal with me. So that even made me agree with what George Clason, the man who wrote The Richest Man in Babylon, he said that if a man is not hungry, he may not really understand the lessons of wealth creation. You really have to be hungry to understand and walk by the lessons of wealth creation. The Richest Man in Babylon says that. So on meeting you, I remember I asked you one of my first questions. I have 500,000 naira. What do? I gave you options and you advised me right. And that was how my journey began. I was in your WhatsApp group. and it was a whole lot of lessons for me until even to the point where you made me an admin till we moved to Discord platform. Along the line, I couldn't hold back because I didn't secure a job. I had to sell off all the shares you advised me then to buy. I remember I bought UBA at 7 naira. UBA at 7 naira. So when I came back to the stock market, I met it at 35, 36 naira. I felt like crying. It was a very emotional one for me because if I maintain the tempo from that very time I met UB at 7 naira, Fidelity and FCMB were sometime around 5 naira thereabouts. CWG was around 4, 5 naira. They were all just like penny stocks, I would say. And looking at where we are today, it's been a long journey. And I just got my foot again just last year, August last year, and I needed to pay off lots of debts. And before I came back fully sometime in February, March, when I heard you talk about TIP, the Initiate PLC, I did not waste time with the much I had as my savings as at March this year. And I bought at 4 naira something. And as at yesterday, I saw myself 111% up on TIP alone. Not talk about the ones I've mentioned on the group chat. I've already dropped the more percentages I had made. What I just want to say here is that if you are present on this platform, if this was a church, I would say this is the right church. And I will say it over and over and over again. And I have been a very serious evangelist. Anyone that meets me now at this point of my life, you can't talk up to 10 minutes with me and I will not tell you about stock, and I will not refer Coach Omiete to you. I can screenshot my WhatsApp conversation with my friends. I don't fail to do that because I have seen that there is a way here, not just a way. In Nigeria of today, where your pension is not, how many companies even pay you pension? Even if they are paying you pensions, you might have to sweat through them. I know so many persons that died trying to get their pensions. I know what my father is currently going through. So knowing that the stock market can be a way, and every other information we have been getting here in the money market, that you can even plan your own pension and even live a better life than people who probably would be depending on pension. I mean, this is something that is a gold mine for me. And I want to say, Coach Omiete, you've been a big inspiration for me. I won't say 2, 3 of my life without mentioning you. You may not have known, but all my siblings, all my friends, they know that you are somebody I always recommend for them. Even my friends in diaspora, I've already started talking to them that, hey, you can do this, you can do this. I recommend that last portfolio with them. Me, I'm currently with Morgan, because then on WhatsApp group, I know we're all on Morgan Capital, but seeing what is happening, I've also opened an account now with Atlas Portfolio, and that is the gospel I'm preaching right now. So I really want to spend more time than to say thank you. And everyone present here on this platform, you have a lot you may not understand now until you begin to see what he's actually talking about. As I speak with you now, it's like every minute of my life should be just about investment. Thank you. I don't really have much words than to say thank you, and God bless you, Coach.
Wow, this is so inspirational. Thank you so much, Dozie. You are just a fighter, a winner. It's difficult to be down and get back up, and everybody who needs to get back up, listen, you are destined for the top. Can I tell you this, Dozie?
Yes.
For the first time, I'm going to
Tell me.
the worst days of your life are finally over. Not everybody survives what you have been able to survive. And I can tell you for free, I can feel it, I can touch it. Your worst days are finally over. To get into so much debt, to lose, to sell off all your stocks, and to bounce back, clear your debts, and now you are on free flight. Listen, nothing else can ever bring you back down. Congratulations, sir.
Amen.
I tell you,
thank you, sir.
I never knew these details as much as you have just outlined them all the while during our conversations. I just knew a little bit. I know you got the job you lost and all that, but I never even knew you sold off everything. But guess what? You are back again. That's the smart you. And that tells me there is nobody listening to us here now that should throw in the towel. If you found your way clear, be rest assured, no matter the struggle, life still has a lot for you. Congratulations, Doze. I'm
Thank
sure
you very much. Thank you very much.
enough for the day. I can tell you for free. I'm so excited. Congratulations, sir. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
God bless you more.
Have a great time.
Whoa! Did you hear that? Are you here still trying to give up on life? I told you the other day, you may be going through one struggle or the other. I told you, I don't know what happened. I just had that leading to speak to someone who may have been hurting that particular day when I told you, listen, you are a champion if you are alive on this earth because you won a battle between yourself and 250 million other potential human beings. You were all in the form of sperm cells trying to fertilize the egg in your mother's womb. I told you, and here we are. If you survived birth and came into this world, you are already a champion even before you know anything. And remind yourself of this, that if you didn't lose that battle against 250 million others who could have come out in your place, listen, there is nothing too strong to bury you here. No matter how terrible your situation has been, you can get back up and fly. The current president of the United States, Donald Trump, you see today, forget anything he was doing or he's doing now that you don't like. That's another survival. Lost everything in billions. I read his book in those early years, 27 years ago, when I was looking for how to get inspired and so on. I read most of his books those days. He lost everything he had in real estate, went into debt, and got back up and rebuilt his real estate empire. So you can make it and you must make it. If you have your way, take this video after it is uploaded on YouTube, download it and replay it to yourself. Should you find anybody in a struggle, find a way to send them this video. You must not give up. That's why you are still alive, because if you must give up, then you should have died and gone. But as long as you are still alive on this earth, you have a chance to recover and be restored. Thank you so very much. This is so emotional. I feel a lot while he was talking. And please go ahead and do what we're doing right now. He has said it is the basic truth. Listen, that pension thing they are saying, contribute pension, will not save you. Many people have waited till the last minute only to learn the hard way, right? And so we are beyond just investing. There has to be a winning mentality. Like I told you, the mental wealth file of the poor is, even when they try to invest, they are investing not to lose money. That's wrong. The mental wealth file of the rich is completely opposite. He is investing to win. So even when what he invested in looks like he's losing, he doesn't lose because he stays in there and fights the battle and becomes a winner. Right? All right, let's go on. And if you were really inspired by Dozier this afternoon, having heard all that he had to recount, come on, go ahead and type win, 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 because your mind must change. You know, there is a correlation between what you do with your hands in typing and your mind, because you are thinking and typing it. You must win. Listen, you were a winner already. You can't come and be a failure. The reason why you still have life is because there are still battles to win. So we are all going to win, right? I'm seeing the wins flying on TikTok. Unfortunately, the scrolling system on Instagram is dormant. So that means I am also missing out on so many other questions that have been typed there. All right, I see your wins there. Congratulations, everybody. Thank you very much. This is one of the most inspiring sessions we can have. And do you know what? There are so many other dossiers out there that have come out of these things, doing what we're doing and seeing results. All right? Okay, we go on to Joshua. You are next on the line. Thank you very much for all your contributions. I see you there. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, Coach.
Good afternoon. Tell us your name and where you're streaming from.
I'm Joshua, streaming from Lagos, Nigeria.
I didn't get your name. Okay, Joshua
Joshua
from
from
Lagos.
Lagos. Yes,
Go
Lagos.
ahead.
So I just want to, uh, I've heard a story of Mr. Dozier, and congratulations to him on bouncing back. I also want to input my own motivation for others too. Back in the 2008 crash, I don't know what was happening in the market then that time, so I wasn't really into it. But 2020 crash really hits me. That's COVID. At the beginning of the year, there was a huge crash, and I had some personal issues too, so I had to sell off stocks, cryptos, everything. Uh, I still lost it on all on a farm investment I put it on, and the company ran away with millions of subscribers' money. So 2020, 2021, trying to bounce back, and finally I came back fully into the stock market late around mid last year, around the time like this, because I had previous experiences before, both in the local and the international markets. So I tried to do things the way I knew it was before I even met you. So I already had my peaks and all that. That's why I'm going. Some a little bit positive, some negative, but generally on the positive side. Then I joined, subscribed to you, and I've been watching you everywhere. Instagram, following your stories, live sessions, and all. Then I took some pics from you, and to be very honest, the pics I've taken from you have even done better than those that I bought earlier. And I'm talking about seeing, I'm seeing
Oh no, it's really a problem right now with the network. Guys, we are full of, we are so blessed with so many winners out here, right? One of the biggest confidence factor of a man is his finances, especially a family man. If you are not a family man, you may not
I
understand.
just I just want to encourage anybody that is having doubts and yet to start on his investment journey to please do so, because time waits for no one. And the earlier you get into it, the earlier you start making profits from it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Uh,
very much,
I
Joshua.
have a question too.
Okay, go ahead.
Uh, so today I learned that corn oil and Julius Berger have been dropped down from the NGX 30, and I have some units of both, although they are not doing so well. Do you advise I keep or I dispose and put the funds somewhere else?
Well. There's nothing wrong with those stocks. They only came short of a certain capitalization level to be continually listed on that NGX 30. It's not
Okay.
anything terrible, so people shouldn't be scared. In fact, it has to do with the price depreciation and capitalization reduction. That's just basically it. So,
Okay.
no major fears at all.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Joshua. Very inspirational one there again. Guys, I don't know why you should lose hope if you can hear all of these things as being shared. Splendid lightings. Meanwhile, I saw a comment by OJ. I never even knew OJ was a lady. My favorite fashion item as a babe is wig, but to buy one now looks like a financial mistake. That's what we're talking about. The mentality has changed. Delayed gratification. Listen, you will buy wigs until you get tired very soon. Wigs will no longer be anything to you. Now you have developed that muscle, the mental capacity to grow money. That's what's happened to you right now. Yes? All right. Okay. That person did not come on. C for Golden, you are next. By the way, let's look at comments over here. See, win. All right. I'm so sorry, Instagram participants. It doesn't scroll. The screen doesn't scroll. Your comment doesn't scroll. So it's hard for me to keep up with the pace. Let's try. Hello. Muluvic says, Coach, can I enter Aradel now? Please feel free to enter Aradel. its own day will come when we may not be able to buy at 500. So go ahead and put in a bid. Let me see for you, Arabelle. Okay, currently 521. If the offers are more than the bids, so maybe you should put in bids at 520 or 519. All right. Hello, sir. C4 Golden. Hello. We have 15 minutes we need to run, and we need to take a lot more calls. All right. Maybe it's a mistake that the caller has done. Should I ignore Alerted King? It could have been a mistake, but let's hear if it is. No problem.
No, it's not a mistake today. Good afternoon, coach.
Very good afternoon to you, Alerted King. It's good to have you here. Tell us and where you're streaming from.
Yeah, my name is Anthony. I'm calling from Canada.
Anthony from Canada. Nobody understands the kind of work you do. You are supposed to be asleep right now, but you've been sharing this live session. Go ahead, sir. We appreciate you.
Yeah, coach. Yeah, thank you for all you do, and I'm very grateful. You've changed my perspective positively. So I'm one of those people who live in diaspora, and I've always wanted to come back home at some point, do something. So I started a small business in Nigeria, and after so many years, I did my recap and how much I've spent and all those stuff, and the money is not really the business is not really bringing that much money. But now, when I started, joining you daily and changing my orientation about it, the business is still going, but now I realize there is better opportunity in investing and making the money do the work and not me actually doing the work for me
Yeah.
and yeah, so it's I can tell you now. So when you said you want to help some people make hundreds to thousands and thousands to and so forth and so forth, I think you're directly talking to some of us, and I'm one of them, one of those individuals. So thank you so much. My question is so quick. Now I just realized I do have I trade in Nigeria and also I'm investing in Nigeria and also here in Canada. I see that I have access to pre-market trading from my stockbroker. Is it better to buy whatever I need to buy in the pre-market or wait till the market opens?
Actually, pre-market can be very tricky. Someone needs to develop a particular know-how, and it can only happen if you try to exercise yourself trading at very minimal volumes or with capital, very little capital. The truth is, it's always 50-50 with pre-market. There are times when you buy stocks during pre-market, and then the market opens, boom, it flies. There are also times when you buy stocks in the pre-market that are looking very promising. Market opens, it's a sell-off, and then it crashes. So yeah, I think there are so many other factors to look at before going for a particular stock in pre-market. That way, you are not easily caught off guard. But even if you do, or you are, at some point, by the time you aggregate your wins versus your losses, your wins will be more because there are certain news that may be surrounding a stock. You get wind of it early enough, you take position, fine. Another procedure could be you follow volumes. Research the volumes of certain stocks and see how they are gaining attention. As the volumes keeps building up, means money is going after it. And when it shows up as one of the best stocks during pre-market, you could buy and watch it fly. Another protective approach is to also be sure that somehow, someway, these are stocks with good fundamentals. In any case, the volatility in the international market, especially US stocks, does not give you that luxury of being very assured that the fundamentals will always be good, especially if it's purely day trade stocks. So it's quite a 50-50 situation with pre-market trading. You've got to just take time. You need another skill set that I feel can only be developed by gradually doing it little by little until you master it. That will
Okay.
some losses here and there along the line.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you.
All right. For us who are talking to the public, we are careful not to, even as careful as we are, people still jump at things that we share and they run into losses for the lack of knowledge. Now, that's why we have the platform like this, so that there's sufficient support at all levels, even the live session, in the group, on YouTube, everywhere. So when you get sufficient knowledge, you know what to do, and anybody can take their baby steps. So if I now say go ahead pre-market, people will run in there and lose woefully, because a lot of times very promising pre-market stocks will drop. And then another pattern is a very promising stock shooting during pre-market. Market opens, it drops, then it rebounds. Most of the time, any stock that collapses at market open with enough attention seems to find a way to shoot back up in the recovery. So sometimes you want to wait till that first sharp decline at market open, and then establish a bottom and then get in, so that during the rebound you make money. These are some of the techniques that are difficult to teach just like this on the live session for day traders particularly.
Okay, thank you so much.
You are highly, highly appreciated. Okay, so who do we have next on the line? Ngosoya. Ngosoya, right. How much is RDL today? Triplets more. Like 521 naira per share. Hello.
Okay, hello, coach. Please, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Good afternoon. Please tell us your name and where you're streaming from.
Good afternoon. My name is Uju. I'm streaming from Port Harcourt.
Uju from Port Harcourt, we are glad to have you. Please go ahead.
Okay, so I have a couple of questions. Usually, when you're on here and you talk about a particular stock, you talk about the bids and the offers. I wanted to ask on Atlas platform, how can we check for the bids and the offers?
Uju, do you follow me on Instagram?
Yes, I do.
Absolutely. Just send me a DM. I will go check on my YouTube channel for the videos where you can easily go through 15 minutes to do that. It's not something I can easily explain
All
well,
right.
right?
All right, I'll do that.
Are you a subscriber to my YouTube channel?
All right, no problem. Then the last question I haven't gone to your YouTube channel yet. I actually didn't know you had a YouTube channel, but I'll check it up and I'll look at the videos.
Never mind. If because you may struggle to search, you do me a DM, I will just send the link of those two videos so you can easily watch them and subscribe at once so you can be able to see. So for everyone who is here,
All
all
right,
those you have missed
I'll do that.
is uploaded on the YouTube channel so you can take your time, take notes and all that. Go ahead, would you?
Okay, then I wanted to ask, I currently have some stocks in Boa Cement and Aradel, and I also have in Tip. So I was wondering if I have 200K that I want to use and buy stocks now, and I was wondering if I should get more in Boa or Aradel, or if I should go into Charms or Qtix.
Terms of critics, and this is where balancing your portfolio, trying to create some level of diversification and balance. Now, Arabelle and Boa Cement are growth stocks. These are like blue chips. So they are the defenders of your portfolio. Fantastic. Now, you also need some value stocks that will have that return that Keep is giving you, I think to add cuties or charms. At the moment, it's difficult to get, so add charms with that money.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Congrats. Appreciate it.
All right, we go on to the next Royal VC. Hello, coach. I sold my FCMB Transcorp Hotel. What stock should I go for, coach? 5
Hello, good afternoon, Coach.
Hello, good afternoon. Tell us your name, where you are streaming from.
Okay, actually, my name is Mr. Victor. I'm streaming from Abia State. Yeah, I have a certain question I wanted to ask. I joined you, that was the last 2 months. So, but to me, it was like, I would just say I met you late because I got scammed. That was the last 2 months before I joined your platform.
Oh my.
So all I have with me was totally down. So ever since then, I have been following you in order to get the knowledge first because this is my first time on this stock of a thing. So, but now I want to sell my land in order to raise some fund. So, like, I want to know how much is okay as a starter, as a new beginner in this. Like, how much is okay to invest in first, at least to know how it works.
4,000 naira.
Sir,
You may be thinking you didn't hear me well. 4,000 naira.
4,000.
Yes, sir.
Oh my God. Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
That's where I started.
Mhm.
27 years ago, that was all I had, and I started. Today, the story is different. So, reason you can start
Oh my God. I thought it's something I can start with, let's say 500 or 200 upward.
1,000. Start with 1,000. Just start.
Okay, sir. I will follow you on. I will follow you on Instagram so that you can help me pull me through,
Not
please.
a problem. Just send me a DM or send me the link to open your account. Account opening is free. So, that's it.
Okay, sir. I will do that right now.
Thank you very
I'll do
much.
that. Thank you, sir.
My people are laughing at the comment section. Oh my God, today has been wonderful. So explosive. I see there, somebody says, I love what? What did you like about? I love that response, eye opening. Our brother was shocked. He said, eh? As in, maybe he didn't hear me, right? Well, sometimes it's good to laugh it off. All right. Donald Ngam has been patient. We have just 2 minutes left, and I know I'll try to respond to Lawrence as well. I think that's where we will call it quits for the day. Donald Ngam, then Lawrence. We will end it for the day. We've tried our best. While we are waiting for them to connect, just now, Coach, good afternoon. Oh, Ray T.
Never mind.
We proceed with Lawrence. Hello, Lawrence. Are you there? You are our last respondent. The law is asking, is Jais Bank a good buy for today and at what price? Jais Bank is good at 3 naira 15 kobo if you get it or anything less. Ladies and gentlemen, we've had a fantastic and an explosive session today. I don't think you want to miss out on what went down. Just in case you missed out or you met us halfway down the line, you missed a lot, especially after the 1 hour mark. By the way, there were so many returns that people shared in the first few minutes. Okay, Ray TV says he was writing an exam. Not a problem at all. Today's live session will be downloaded and uploaded on the YouTube for you to take your time and enjoy. By the way, while you were writing an exam, all your stocks were flying. Congratulations in advance before you even realize. Thank you very much, everybody. I must thank Maobi for ever being present and being so helpful, blessing humanity. All of you who have given gift, and being a part of today's live session in one way or the other, making comments, contributing, giving, sharing these live sessions, liking and all that. You guys are simply amazing. You are the energy giver. You give me the energy to keep going. Now it's almost like we shouldn't stop. But guess what? I need to go and check for what I've put in the market as well. And in the last 3 days, I've not been able to post US day trade stocks. Maybe I will do that. I'm seeing that Ella Lakes is down from the 9 naira it was selling. It's now 8 naira 91 kobo, in spite of the fact that there are so many offers, bids down the line. And I'm seeing some bids are looking like they are fake. 5 million bids at 7 naira 56 kobo a bid. There's another bid up there. 10 million bids at 7 naira 60 kobo. They know that these bids will not be successful, so they load up bids at the bottom to create a fake impression that the stock is in high demand. You need to know all this and play the game according to how they bring it for your profiting. Stay safe, ladies and gentlemen. This is where we call it a day, and it's been wonderful. Thank you very much for all the callers and everyone who has commented. You are simply the best. Let's keep going and keep helping many others get out of the rat race and come into their original destined financial freedom. Until we meet again, same time, 12 noon to 2 p.m. tomorrow, this is me saying thank you so very much. I love you all. You are simply the best.